Hi everybody, today we are sitting down to talk with Chin-Loo Lama. And in case you're wondering, Chin-Loo is married to Sal, who we talked to earlier. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
And Chin-Loo is an interaction design engineer in our user experience group. Tell us a little bit about what it is that you do. What does the user experience group do? What do you do? Um,
Definitely. The user experience in SolidWorks, our group really focus on the experience that our customers go through as they use our software. So we span across, just like the product definition team, we span across all the core areas of SolidWorks as well as specific things like PDM, 3D Content Central, e-drawing. So we make sure we cover every aspect of the SolidWorks family. I personally cover the area of e-drawings. I've worked on multiple areas, and this year around, I've worked on photo view, a lot more. Basically, any part of the software that requires a lot of UI design, because my background gives me the opportunity to explore things that are much more interactive and possible ways of reorienting features and how they interact with the users. So basically, it's just, in our group, we make sure that as we design, we're always taking the time to research with the developers, research with our customers, speak to everyone, all the key holders within the company, rather the stakeholders, sorry, within the company who are interested in the final product. So we make sure that we take the time to do research ahead of time, interview customers, make sure that we've got all our I's dotted and T's crossed, and go through the concept design phase and make sure that we're able to pinpoint all the issues and address all of them, and they're feasibly addressed in using our technology. And once that's done, we go back and we test again with our users and make sure that we've actually done it right by them, and then ultimately it'll go into the product. My part in the group is that I actually have a lot of background in interface design, so interactive media, multimedia. So I take on projects that require lots of prototyping. Basically, it's great to come up with good ideas for certain parts of the software, but if you don't really understand how ultimately it will work, it's hard to describe everything in just words and pictures. So I actually take the extra step before even a developer steps in. I create mock-ups, I create prototypes that would function the way you expect, just not with all the proper back-end results. But that's when I mock it up. We run through a few tests with users and see how they think, would that make sense, if it's intuitive. So that's primarily my role. And I've been fortunate enough to work with lots of great staff members in our group that has a lot of background in statistics gathering, survey writing. So a lot of those things all pulled together, and we come up with awesome ideas.
so you mentioned your prior background. What did you do before you came to SolidWorks?
I actually started out as a mechanical engineer. So my initial bachelor's degree was actually in mechanical engineering. I worked with Polaroid for a while, and we designed, I don't know if people are familiar with it because I don't think it stayed in the market for very long, but it's a digital printer that printed on instant film. And actually, I used SolidWorks when I designed it, and this was very, very early, like the first or second release. And I actually managed to get a couple of patents from it and had fun using SolidWorks. After working with Polaroid for a few years, I went back to school. I had a passion for design and graphics and interface design, programming as well. So got my master's in fine arts in computer graphics design. So after that, actually during the process of getting my degree, I realized that even though I had this passion for graphics, I was also still very interested in technology. So even my thesis project was on this projector interface. So I actually designed these interfaces that were projected with light onto flat surfaces, and it could be anything. So I actually created this game that projected an abacus, and you interact with the abacus, and then you would play with a flash game. So lots of things came out of that. I proposed to the company that they could use that technology to work with like marine biologists, and have them sort of interact with computer software in the water because it could be projected on walls. So things like that, and that brought me to work with companies that developed educational software, making really advanced, tough scientific and biological concepts, make it consumable by everyday people, including children, on how to learn those concepts. So from that, I actually came to SolidWorks, and it was great because now I'm able to go back to my original love, which was mechanical engineering, and still get a lot of these difficult concepts and find ways to design interfaces that allow beginners who are introduced into CAD how to maneuver around some of these concepts and very quickly, almost at their fingertips, get work done.
So you did a lot of work on our newest product, the SolidWorks Sustainability, right?
Yes.
So what was it about that particularly attracted you?
Actually, my hobby, so one of the things on the side, outside of SolidWorks, outside of work life, is the environment, basically, greening my life. I've always, for a while now, ever since high school, been very conscious about the environment and wanted to make sure that I leave as small a footprint in the sands of life as possible. And so when the opportunity came to work with Rick Chin on this project, it was just like I very quickly raised my hand because I wanted to make sure that if we're going to venture into a world of sustainable design and responsible development in our designs, we make sure that we provide all the features that are available as much as possible, as simple as possible, and something that is substantial enough but at the same time not too overwhelming. So it was a great opportunity for me to jump in and put in my 2 cents, and I did.
So what's coming down the road for sustainability?
We are actually, so we've released our express version, and the professional version, or the full version, is still is released, and it's still being improved. So my efforts this time around is actually to make sure that all the things that we've promised ourselves and customers as well is properly developed. So there's still things that are somewhat limited by technology and basically our ambition, really. So it's a collision between what we really want and what we're able to do. But so this release, we're trying to address a lot of those, and we have. Yeah.
So you and the team are going to be doing a lot of work at SolidWorks World 2010 in Anaheim.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about what's going to be going on there.
For my point of view, or the entire group?
Yours or both?
The user experience group, this time we're a smaller team going there, but we're still doing the same. If any one of you actually have participated in our user testing, we're doing similar things this year, running tests. In fact, this time I think each one of us will be running more than one test area. They're hour-long. We are going to be sitting down one-on-one with customers who would sign up ahead of time throughout the entire conference, and basically have you walk through and use some of the new features that we're developing for 2011 and get honest feedback, very candid, basically just off the cuff. That's the kind of information we need. We would need very social, behavioral-based information, not necessarily, functional differences between this button and how it looks on this button. Is more of a, how do you feel as you do this? Do you get confused? Did you know that you were supposed to do this? So those are the types of interactions we want to get feedback on. And I think that's pretty much it. And also to enjoy the conference.
Yeah, so on a bigger scale, what is it that you look forward to every year?
I think, I know this is cheesy, but the keynote speeches, I actually do like them, because when I sit down every morning, it's quite inspirational to hear these big picture views and really those case stories of customers who have changed their, I mean, just using SolidWorks, things have affected them a certain way, how their product or their career have changed based on the use of SolidWorks. Is quite inspirational. So it sort of sets up my day to have energy for the rest of the day. Plus that event on Tuesday. Definitely looking forward to that.
Well, that's great. Well, Chin-Loo, it has been a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you.
And And before we go, just want to say thanks for talking, and we'll see you in Anaheim.
Thank you.
Okay.